Republican Senate candidates Ken Buck of Colorado and Sharon Angle of Nevada each got into some political trouble this year for saying that they wanted to privatize the Veterans Administration.
I know he pays over $800 a month in prescription drugs that we can't get through his VA nor through Medicare. They just won't cover those things. And I know lots of seniors. Should they cover those things? No, not if you're working toward a privatized system.
Would a Veterans Administration hospital that is run by the private sector be better run than by the public sector? In my view, yes.
After making those comments about privatizing the VA, both candidates got hit hard by their Democratic opponents. Senator Harry Reid ran this ad against Sharon Angle.
Now, in another extreme proposal, Sharon Angle says privatize it, end the VA as we know it. When she was asked whether veterans' benefits like prescriptions and doctor visits would be covered if she had her way.
No, not if you're working toward a privatized system.
End our promise to veterans? Sharon Angle, dangerous ideas that put veterans at risk.
I'm Harry Reid, and I approve this message.
That's the ad that ran in Nevada. In Colorado, Senator Michael Bennet, the Democrat, hit Ken Buck for the privatize the VA position, and then he went the extra step of rallying Colorado veterans against Ken Buck. The most obvious way to tell if a political attack has been effective is to see the impact that the attack has on its target. And in both the cases of Ken Buck and Sharon Angle, when they got called out for saying they wanted to privatize the VA, it was textbook. And both of them dithered, then denied, then basically tried to change the subject. It was stop, squirm, and run.
I said that they could do a better job. That's all I said. The VA could do a better job for our veterans.
Actually, that's not all you said. As for Ken Buck, first his campaign walked back what he said. Quote, what Ken's saying is that our veterans deserve the best. And I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a lot of people who would say the government does the best job. Ken is not for privatizing the VA hospitals. Then his campaign denied he ever said it. Quote, Ken Buck has never advocated the privatization of any veterans hospital. And then 3 days after that denial, Ken Buck went and said it again.
I think that the private sector runs operations like hospitals and other operations better than the government. If we can reduce the deficit and provide better quality of care for our veterans, I'm in favor of doing things like that.
Stop, squirm, and run. He was for it before he was against it, before he never said it, before he was for it again. Privatizing the VA is such a politically indefensible position that both Ken Buck and Sharon Angle were incredibly soft targets on this. Both of their Democratic opponents scored big with political attacks on that issue. And that is why I do not understand why more Democrats aren't running on veterans issues. Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America has just put out its report card grading Congress on how they're doing on veterans issues. Overall, the news is not great. The overall news for IAVA and for us as a nation trying to make sure we keep our promises to veterans is that scores declined overall from the 110th Congress to the current 111th. That's the most important thing in terms of veterans issues. But in this campaign season, this seems important too. Of the 94 members of Congress who got an A or an A+ from IAVA for standing by this generation of American veterans, 91 of the 94 are Democrats, 3 are Republicans. The other side of it, perhaps the more infuriating side of it, of the 154 members who got a D or an F from IAVA for standing by this generation of American veterans, 12 are Democrats, 142 are Republicans. When you see what happened to Ken Buck and Sharon Angle when they got hit on not supporting veterans, on putting veterans at risk, when you see the way those attacks landed like a sledgehammer on both of those candidates, why aren't more Democratic candidates talking about this?